been doing hairdressing for then, Alex?
A year and a half. I wish I'd done it sooner. I wish I was more confident. I always thought it was going to be a really hard thing, but it definitely does give you a self of identity. Like, I definitely should have done it years. I wouldn't have had the confidence years ago because I was scared to fail. Probably. My son's a lot like that as well. My eldest. Montel's 18 now. China's going to be 14 next month, and Sol's 3.
Mummy, dinner ready.
Not yet.
I will chop my neck off then.
What, you're going to chop it off?
Yeah.
What? Don't you want to live? So, I was 15 when I was pregnant and had them until 16. I told my sister, like that day when I got home, and I was like, oh, don't tell my dad, and she walked out the room and went and told him straight away. Sit round the table then, I'll bring you crackers.
A good cracker.
Don't you want some more? At least you're eating them properly. It's something that's done in private, isn't it? And when you get like sex, and then when you get pregnant, it's just a big old sign saying you've had sex.
Yeah.
I think because of the religion thing, obviously, as soon as my dad found out, we went to the doctor and he was like, "You're keeping it." But yeah, so I didn't really have any option or choice. The rule is, you know, no sex before marriage. The bloke did, we had an elder come round and he did talk to me after it happened and said, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep coming and be a Jehovah's Witness, or are you going to leave? And I had to make the decision on the spot, so I just said, oh, I'm going to leave.
And for each flavor combination.
I'm making a cheese sandwich.
Oh yeah, you got it all over your hands, don't mind.
Load your man.
Yeah.
I was pregnant with Molly at 15 and I had her at 16. I was really, really happy when I found out I was pregnant with her. But I didn't really think that there was going to be a baby, and then, well, I knew that I was going to have a baby, but I was just too wrapped up in being pregnant, so I was living in kind of a fantasy world at the time.
They're really hot.
Really hot. Right. That's it.
Close the door.
Close the door. Well done. Good go.
I just wait for
When she was born, I didn't want to hold her. I can't, like, the pictures in here of me holding her, I can't remember them at all. Even though there's pictures, and I obviously did, but I just remember thinking I don't want her anywhere near me.
Are you going to sit down and eat this? Oh, what? Yes, you do, you liar. Are you lying?
No, I don't like it.
You're lying?
I don't like it.
Have a drink.
So when Montel was actually born, how did you feel?
There was nothing. There was no feeling. I think I was just constantly worrying about what people thought, even to the point when it came to giving birth to him, and probably for ages after, years after. What was
So can you tell us when you moved out from home once having Montel?
Oh right, yeah, right. I think he was a few months old, and I went to live in my mum's boyfriend's house at the time with my sister. It was just a bit awkward with my dad and him being religious. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
They're not done yet, darling. Not yet, look, they're not brown yet.
Initially my mum kicked me out, and it was my fault because I was depressed and I was picking arguments. So in the end she did kick me out, and I was ready to give up at that point because I didn't know how to change a nappy and I didn't know how to make a bottle. If she woke up in the night, I'd just leave her to cry because I didn't think to feed her.
Tickle is that one. Have a look. Have a look. I kept begging my mum to let me come back home, but she kept saying no because it's the only way I would get my own place. I had to face up to the reality that she is my child and I have to take responsibility for her. So it was either sink or swim, basically. Rub it. That's it.
So you guys shouldn't end up going getting yourself pregnant then. You should learn to say no.
What did you think at the time
Of what?
of Alex getting pregnant young?
Oh, I nearly kill her. She's gonna tell you, I nearly kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, oh yes. Yeah, you should put that on the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alexandra got pregnant at the age
Right,
of...
can I go?
Yeah, she got pregnant at the age of 15.
Yeah, I think I know.
Yeah, and I nearly
Not
kill her.
deliberately.
Huh?
Not deliberately, wasn't it?
Well, she
It's
should have...
Dad, where did I get this curiosity?
But she was sneaky, right? She got one of her friends to phone her, right? And
Sarah, you can have a go. You can listen
and it
to
sung like her mother. And I said, oh yeah, she could go. And in that way, I put all my trust in her to make sure that
That's good.
I could trust her to go out and come back and don't know.
You seem to forget that you was having a breakdown and that I looked after you.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
you think that me going and get myself pregnant might be the fact that I was looking for someone to care and give me a bit of love?
No, not a baby.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't
No.
expect a baby.
Well,
I'm
there
just
you are.
curious.
She lost her cherry by getting pregnant.
Yeah, they know that.
Yeah, there you are.
I lived in 3 hostels altogether. They're all pretty much the same. I absolutely hated them. At just the worst time of my life. And I would have done absolutely anything to get out of them. In the actual hostel, there was special lighting in the bathrooms and in the laundry room and in your actual bedroom. It's like a blue light, and it's so you couldn't see your veins. It was just a different world for me. At the very first night, it was absolutely terrifying, and it only got worse from then as well, really. I had to go out and steal for her to get her the things that she needed because I had absolutely nothing. We're now approaching one of the hostels that I stayed at. I don't think I could go in there again. I try and avoid the hostels that I was in around the area because I really don't think I could ever go back in them again. Even just seeing it brings back so many horrible memories for me. It's just not a place that I would ever want to go back to, ever.
What would you say was the lowest point of the whole pregnancy and having Montel?
Probably finding out could be your lowest point. Yeah, well, that was probably it. Because once that's happened, it's like, it's the shock of that. And then once that's happened, it's still pregnant, so you just got to deal with it. Probably felt very lonely. Trying to deal with everything, not talking about it and deal with it inside. Yeah, that was probably it. It took me a while to get very confident and, yeah, it took me ages.
And how did you overcome that in the end? Feeling that way?
It's only probably a couple of years ago. You just end up beginning to have a bit of... Thank you. Good boy. You probably just end up having a bit of self-belief as you get older. I think as you get older as a woman, you just get more relaxed. So that was probably it. Because my life is probably no different now than when I was 16. I'm still single when I've, not 16, but when Montel was young. Like after it went wrong with his dad, I was like, oh my God, I'm still like, Montel's hit 18 and I'm still in the same position I was when he was born.
The brother? It's a girl. Molly was about 2 months old. And I did ask how to go about adoption. I just thought she won't remember me if she goes to, gets put up for adoption now. She won't remember that she's even adopted, so I might as well do it while she's young. I wasn't aware that I had postnatal depression, but it became more apparent when I was in my first hostel, and I couldn't provide the things that I wanted to provide for her. I would literally drag her in the snow just to speak to somebody, because I was on my own all day, every day, and I'd be out all day and come home at about 11 o'clock at night with her, and she wouldn't be wearing a coat. And I realised she was starting to get a bit poorly because she was suffering from me being selfish. And that's when I realised that I needed to get some help.
I'll tell you how I feel. I could tell you how I feel when Montel was born, though. I feel like I didn't want to know him. I can honestly say I could feel like,
9 months.
because I feel
I'm
that
by myself.
with Montel being here, he let me down.
Yeah.
But she's the one. And many people said, no, it got nothing to do with the kid. It's to do with her.
But
How
I'm saying
one
that
thing-
still sounds quite harsh.
It does sound harsh, but it take me a while
Yeah, well, I know
before
that.
I could really.
But because you was like that, it reflected, and I brought my son up, so the guilt that I carried having Montel reflected in how he was brought up. You could never show him affection because I didn't want people to think I'd done it on purpose. Just felt like guilty, like embarrassed. I was letting everyone down.
Aha, that's how I feel. That I feel.
How selfish of you!
No, I feel
I was
that
the
you
one
let.
having the
I feel
baby.
that you let me down in that way.
Yeah, but I was
Basically
the one.
expected a bit
So
of an
no, I didn't get no support.
It take a while before I could really support her. And then after a while, I just feel proud to be a granddad.
Put your head up. That's it. That'll do, won't it? Alright. Let's sit on my lap. They're a bit wonky, aren't they? Alright. It took me a long time to go to the doctors.
But then they prescribed me antidepressants, and then within about two to 3 weeks I did start feeling a bit more happier and a bit more that I can do this and I will fight for her.
Yay!
Crazy you are.
Do you have any regrets about having Molly so young?
I don't have any regrets having her young, no. She's made me who I am today, so my relationship with Molly now is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and she's just everything to me, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're my world, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, love her so much. Everything I do is for her, absolutely everything. You're my best friend, aren't you?